don't give a damn. So you better be calm. With safari hat on, we digging deep, come on. Yeah. Born in a country that was meant to be free. Gifted in yapping to prove conspiracy. Educated in the cornfield but dreaming of the beach. Inspired by a humble host, let that man preach. Republican, nah, Democrat, ew. Reporting what's true through a new view team. I don't give a damn. So you better be calm. With safari hat on. Into the weeds, come on. I don't give a damn. So you better be calm. With safari hat on. We digging deep, come on. Yeah. Tiger shark circle, but I'm staying the course. Deep research, digging, overturn every source. 10, foil squirrel, organize the chaos. Gather each acorn, expose corporate payoffs. What matters the most? Respecting what is true. Always be saying like moss should grow on you. Welcome to I don't give a damn. So you better be calm. With safari hat on, triceratops. Hold on. I don't give a damn. So you better be calm. With safari hat on. We digging deep, come on.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. I feel really out of my element today because I am in a computer chair because I had a little fur ball that wanted to sit behind me. And then at the last minute, as I hit go live and that video was playing, she moved a lot. So I'm very discombobulated and she may unplug a cord when she gets back up because I was trying to make it so that you could see her when she was back here. But thank you for coming. And I didn't schedule it, so I guess I'm not late today. That's weird because, if I'm not late, did I even show up? I have a few things I wanted to cover today, and then I have a few things through the preliminary hearing this week that I was looking at that I kind of wanted to share. And it's not one of my deep dives. It's just it's not a deep dive theory. I just tripped way over my words. It's not a deep dive theory where you're going to be here for hours because also I'm losing my voice a little bit. I spent most of my day and weekend with a bridal shower thing. So thank you for coming. And I see a lot of people here. So thank you so much. If you could like the show or if you share it, that would be helpful because I took a few hiatuses. I think the algorithm is being a little bit weird and I'm not super popular. So it would be great if you could hit like because that helps me out. I'm just going to get into it. There's a few things I wanted to go over first. And the first one, I need to share my screen. It's not very helpful if I'm not sharing it, huh? Is going to be something that Baron just shared today. So I was watching Baron. Actually, I started watching Baron on my drive home today because I was at a bridal shower kind of far away. And he started talking about this Diligent Denizen tweet, and it is about Tyler Robinson being in Panguitch, Utah, between 9 and 10 p.m. on September 10th. That is the same day that Charlie Kirk left this planet. And Diligent is saying that he interviewed the staff at Cowboy Smokehouse who served Robinson that night, and Charlie Kirk was taken out. 2 witnesses there, 100% ID'd Tyler. They turned it into the FBI. Tyler had paid with his debit card. Neither the state or the defense has contacted the restaurant to talk to the staff. And he said that he is reporting that it makes it impossible for Tyler to be watching and waiting for the police to leave hours before, like that 12:36 a.m.-ish that they were talking about on the 11th, as in the text as well. If he left at 10 p.m., the fastest he could get back to UVU is 12:47 a.m. Panguitch is 2 hours and 49 minutes away from UVU, and he is saying either the texts are fabricated or someone was pretending to be Tyler or he's a time traveler. Well, Charlie allegedly was a time traveler, so we're going to get heebie-jeebie about it. But I do want to mention I have looked into Panguitch a lot. I've actually been to Panguitch myself, and I've driven past this restaurant. And it was before September of 2025. It was actually in the summer of last year. And it was because I'm pretty sure Panguitch is kind of around like the Bryce. No, it's when we went up to I'm not going to say it because everyone will make fun of me. But another park area. We got an Airbnb and camped out there. I have a friend that lives in St. George. So I've gotten to go around to some cool places there. I love Utah. Utah is the best. But I'm going to hit play on this so that you can hear this. If you haven't already seen it, you should go like and share it. And he's a great person to follow as well. And I love listening into his spaces. So I'm going to hit play and then I'm going to hush up.
One of the employees that met Tyler Robinson on the night of September the 10th, around 9 p.m. here at Cowboys Smokehouse in Panguitch, Utah. Have you worked at Cowboys?
I've been here about a year and a half now.
A year and a half now?
Yep.
And were you here?
Yes, I was working here. I remembered him coming in, sitting at the bar. He ordered a steak, a couple beers.
Did you sit at the end of the bar?
Close to the end, second seat in. I wasn't the waiter who was taking his order and everything, but I did have a couple interactions with him, just trying to help out. After I'd notified my boss, we reached out to the authorities. He contacted the FBI. They got our contact information, but we never heard anything from them.
You never heard back from the FBI after you reported it?
Never heard anything. And that's kind of what prompted me to send it in. It just didn't sit right with me.
And how certain are you that it was Tyler Robinson that you saw?
100%.
100%?
When I had heard his voice, he was just a weird guy, and I wasn't really paying attention to my phone that day. I'd seen that Charlie had been shot, and I didn't really want to give any of my energy to it until I was done with work. And the next morning, I went to my other job, and my coworker was kind of talking to me about it. He pulled up a picture. He said I looked like I was a little shocked by it, because I recognized the face. And then later that night, or that day rather, they released a video of him getting his college acceptance letter. And when I heard his voice, it was no doubt in my mind that was him.
And do you know what time he left?
It was close to closing, so it was around.
What time do you guys close?
10 o'clock. I was the one who helped him check out too.
And you were the one that helped him check out?
Yep.
So you're the one that you took the card from him?
Yep.
Okay.
And that's just like I told. I took the card. I figured that would be good information for the feds to look into it. And
they never checked into it, not once?
I don't know if they checked into that. I know they got that information from my boss.
So they got the information, but you don't know. You never heard back again?
Never heard anything from them. No.
The defense, did the prosecution ever reach out to you guys to come testify or anything like that?
No one's reached out to us at all.
Has the defense hasn't reached out to you?
Nope.
No one's reached out to you whatsoever, even though you saw him that night?
Yeah, no one's reached out regarding anything to do with Tyler Robinson.
Yeah, so I found that to be super weird and interesting because Panguitch is also a really interesting place. And if you haven't been to Panguitch, Utah, I'm going to pull it up on the map and I'm going to go over why I feel like it's bizarre that he decided to go to Panguitch, and it really made me think of Lance's testimony um as well, which I oh no, what happened? Okay. Sorry, my Google was being weird. Okay. I had to move my screens and everything too because of the dog. So, and you guys didn't even get to see her side eye you. She does a side eye thing and it's really cute. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this up here, and this is a zoomed out area of Panguitch. So also, it always makes me laugh that they do crops and circles out here because it's literally like a UFO type thing. Um, and I'm from Indiana, so we don't have crop circles. I actually don't think I've ever seen one, but I think it's just the way that it works there. You can see that Panguitch is up here, St. George is down here, and St. George is a really interesting place because the easiest way for most people to get to it, unless you want to pay for the expensive airport, is going to be flying into Vegas and driving there. So it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, but it's easier to get to, in my opinion, at least where from I'm also from in the middle of nowhere. And it's easier for me to get to St. George than it is Salt Lake because there's like no direct flights. The one thing I did want to point out, and I'm going to pull up the different sources on this. Panguitch is an area where people go to hunt. And it's an interesting time of year when you talk about September 10th, 2025, because it's actually the last 2 days of archery season. If I'm saying that in the right, verbiage, I don't know. But it is the last 2 days of archery season when you can go out and hunt with a bow and arrow. They're not, as low tech as they used to be. And I found that to be really interesting in retrospect of someone possibly not having their phone, because also Panguitch is in the middle of nowhere. And for most people, your phone signal's not going to be the greatest. I mean, you're around a lot of canyons. It's kind of like Bryce is right here. And Bryce, you don't have a lot of signal either in certain parts. So it's interesting because when we're hearing the testimony of Lance saying that Tyler was going on a hunting trip with his family, or he says that's why he needed it, I was like, well, that would be really convenient for Tyler Robinson to be in Panguitch, Utah, going hunting on September 10th, 2025. And depending on if he was doing it the right way or the wrong way, there could be a license, a lot of different things, signing into the DNR at different checkpoints and everything. But Panguitch is kind of a weird area because they have a lot of different things. Someone said bow season, so thank you for saying that, MD Hall 2025. I don't hunt, if you can't tell. My dad's a hunter. I've never been into it. Shot a gun one time, cried. So not for me. Not for me. So Panguitch does have the church, the LDS church here as well. But I did want to note, Panguitch has 2 airports. Well, it's really weird because it has like a DOT office, and then it has. So this is it going to pull it up? This is the Department of Transportation, Airport U55. And basically, it looks like an office for the DOT. I don't think you can really fly a plane in here, to be honest. Maybe a small tiny one, helicopter. I don't even think that's a track and field. So it's not like you're gonna be flying a plane in there, but it is the Department of Transportation office, and Panguitch is in the middle of nowhere. So I do think it's a little bit weird that that's even there. The other thing I wanted to note, they do have so it says airport It says airport on both of these. I think only one is an airport. So it says Panguitch Municipal Airport U55, and I don't even know if I'm saying that right. If I'm not, I'm also not a pilot. But they have the, I have it marked. Where did it go? It's right here. I think the office is in town and then the airport is over here. So all of our crop circles going on. And this is the airstrip. So there is an airstrip in Panguitch, Utah. On North Bench Road. That makes me laugh because that's just a funny name. It is there. So I am going to say there is an airport in Panguitch, Utah. And the airport is, I don't know if it's going to let me even, this is what we're looking at. I don't know what in the Zorro Ranch Panguitch has going on with the airport, but yeah, I don't know who they really have working here, making sure that it's safe. I'm sure they don't get a lot of traffic, but I would think that this is utilized or they wouldn't have it. It's kind of to me, it's silly for you to pay that much and upkeep and all of the stuff that goes with it. So I don't know exactly what this airport is used for, but there is an airport in Panguitch, Utah. And 1 second. That is so funny that I just said that. Well, I'll go out and clip that out. Okay. The other thing I was going to mention in Panguitch is, and I'm going to share my screen again. That's MD Hall saying that it may be used for hunters. That is a good point. I'm actually going to look that up real quick. Or Marsh, if you're on Panguitch. What did I call that? The M55 Muni Airport U55. Yeah. Okay. It is open to the public. It's been open to the public. I will show this. I'm sure maybe hunters are using it. Who knows? Okay, so this is the Panguitch updated airport information. It does say that the FAA identifier is U55. The zip code's 84759. It is showing a picture of it. Thank you, Jerry. That's a better picture than what I could see. And it's saying that it was open to the public, but I also am going to have to ask. I know someone that would know more information about this, and I need to talk to them about it. But it's, right around Bryce Canyon and everything else, Cedar City. So I'm sure that if you had a super big plane, you could not fly in here. But I just thought it is sort of relevant. Okay. And then there were some other things I was going to talk about when we're looking at Panguitch. And I shared my screen and then I messed it up. I have like 30 tabs open or 30 different pages separated by tabs so that I can easily navigate it all in one because I didn't put it all in my presentation today. So I will look more into that, but I did find it really interesting and I was looking at some stuff on Flight Radar. The other thing I wanted to mention with Panguitch is When we're talking about Cowboy Smokehouse, this is where it is. This is where he ate at. A lot of reviews. There's not a lot going on in Panguitch, but there are these things called grandma's cottages. So when we're talking about someone going to visit grandma, even if his grandma lives there, I was looking over and I'm like, what is going on? I actually tried to book to stay here. It wasn't as easy as I thought. So I found that to be really weird because there's not a lot going on there. So I feel like you would be able to stay pretty easy if you wanted to. The town is interesting in the fact that it has, I hope this is not stuff I marked to go there. So there's a picture of grandma's cottages. You see these cute people on TripAdvisor. So if Tyler Robinson was staying at one of these cottages, technically you could say he went to go visit his grandma or stay with his grandma to move some furniture if he knew the people that owned this. But that would be pretty intentional if you were trying to tell that narrative to the public. The other thing I wanted to mention, okay, that's not the one that I wanted for hunting, but there are a lot of different hunting things that people can do in the Panguitch area. Give me 1 second. I am going to, this would be better if you could see my dog's side eye. But she decided to move, so you guys don't get to be mean mugged by her. And it's one of my favorite things. She mean mugs me all the time. Okay, is it this one? Is pulling up the one that has the date on it. All right, right here. Share screen. Okay, so Panguitch is a very interesting place, and deer season at the end of last year does say, and mind you, not a hunter, okay? So when it says archery ends September 12th, 2025 for the deer season for youth hunts, I don't know what that means age-wise. So I don't know if that means, and I probably should have called my dad up before this, but I was in a little bit of a hurry getting back. But it does say even the general season is ending for buck deer on September 12th, 2025. So I don't know if that means for the youth hunt that you can only hunt baby deer or doe. I forget the term, so, don't be angry about that. I'm not really into hunting as much as I wish that I could because I think it can be a very respectful thing. I just can't do it. So, I was looking through this, and when I stumbled across that because of Lance saying that Tyler was planning to go hunting with his family, I was like, does he hunt a lot? Was he hunting then? Because if that's what he was doing, that is a really number 1, difficult alibi unless you can prove the data points like the smokehouse and certain things like that or other people seeing you, especially if you're not signing in at the checkpoints and things that you're supposed to. So like when you go hunting hiking in Hawaii and things like that, you check in or the hunters check in. So they do have a lot of different things where people can hunt in Utah. Panguitch Lake is a place where people can go to do that, and they have guides that are around the area. This is saying, I have a lot of people that hunt up in here, so I feel really uneducated. I am seeing some of the comments, so give me 1 second. Someone's saying you might have stumbled on to something with this town, something off, must dig deeper. I mean, yes, but it's really difficult because sometimes you can go down these rabbit holes and trails and it's kind of a waste. Not necessarily a waste of time, but sometimes you think there's a lot more there than that's not. I'm from a small town, but when I started to realize some of these things, I'm like, okay, I'm from a small town. We don't even have a stoplight. And I live in a bigger area now, and we have an airport like that, but my hometown doesn't. So I was like, why do they? And that's what weirded me out. Just kind of like the one up at Interlochen Lake by Beaver Island, where I do think Leslie Wexner connected with Jeffrey before some things happened. Anyways, Penguich Lake, the unit has been one of the top producing elk units for the past few years. In 2017, Brian had fire, a large percentage of the unit. Brian had fire burned. I forgot a word. A large percentage of the unit and has turned out to be one of the most prime elk habitats. This is a great unit if you're looking for a 360-inch bull with the potential to bleep a giant 380-inch bull, a plus bull. I don't know how to say these. However, drawing odds are pretty tough, and it will take quite a few points to draw unless you get lucky in the random draw. There's a late archery hunt in this unit that takes place in early December. This hunt is much easier to draw than any of the other hunts, but gives a hardcore hunter a chance to hunt some giant lake season bulls with a bow. We do have a cabin located in this unit, so most of the hunts will be based out of the cabin unless we need to camp remotely in wall tents or camp trailers. I have no idea what that means. It's weird. These are freaking huge. So I don't even. So someone is also saying in here, the youth is usually the age of the hunter. So thank you for saying that. And then someone's saying female deer doe, you should never bleep little fawns. Youth hunts are for minors. That makes sense. I thought that you should not with the baby deer. But I do know veal is a thing. And I know that it's raised for that, but I didn't know. Didn't want to just make an assumption. So Utah says for adults, you can share your permits for a youth hunt age 12 to 17. If you send me something or what I can look for, I would be glad to pull it up. Or if you tell me the title of it, I can pull it up. I don't really click on links. So I'm sorry that I am saying that. But you can send it to me on X or the title or a screenshot of it, and I'll pull it up. And it's the same username. So these are the pictures of the things you can hunt there. These are ginormous. Oh my goodness. That thing is like the size of a bus, I think. Look at that thing. Oh, it makes me so sad. People just. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm kind of a. I know empathy can be bad, but look at how pretty they are. It's a reindeer. It's not a reindeer, I don't think. So crazy. I didn't know that they grew, I don't know if these are the same, but the deer and that one's sticking its tongue out at us, guys. The disrespect up in here. It's 64 degrees Fahrenheit, and he's like, I'm turning it up to 300. That is so funny. My dog that's laying over on the ground sticks her tongue out all the time. So it's an elk. That's so embarrassing. I know nothing about hunting. Can you tell? Can you tell? I know nothing. I'm not even gonna pretend like I do. My dad wishes that I did. So, Dad, if you're seeing this, I'm sorry. I think the animals are too cute. Oh my gosh, look at them. They're just hanging out. They're having an elk party. They have to have serious neck look at that. I wonder what their gait oh. Wow, I can hear my dog dreaming. So if you guys hear her run barking. Oh, that's a sad picture. Okay. Enough with the hunting ones, but I found that to be super interesting. And then I know some people don't like that I say interesting, and some people don't like that I say the word weird. That's weird and interesting that you feel that way. Sorry, not sorry. But, anyways, I say weird, I say interesting all the time because I try not to be disrespectful in what I am thinking about something until I can come to my own conclusion about it. So if I am saying something is weird, that means I feel like something is not normal. So, um, so don't send me a link, but if you send me a screenshot of what you are trying to send me or something of that nature, or you can send me a DM on X with it, my email is in my profile as well on here. Um, so you can do that, but the easiest way is going to be contacting me through X or telling me what website to find something on. I'm really sorry I don't click on links. So I do apologize. But Panguitch is a really interesting place. They have a lot going on. And it then brings me to probably the biggest psyop any of us have dealt with in our lives. I mean, seriously, worse than COVID, worse than, I don't even know, worse than the DOJ files recently, because it is straight just deceit, lying, everything that you could think of. And I feel like it made a lot more sense to me when I looked at how a bunch of these people came into Charlie's life. And not only Charlie's life, but how each of them came into media. You'd be surprised how many people that are saying untrue things are also from Ohio. You would be surprised how many people that say untrue things retired from being in the military to live in Washington, D.C., go on Blaze Media, and start the first thing through 4chan, which Lance Twiggs allegedly spent a lot of time on. So I did find it to be really weird, and we're going to go over that. I'm making sure that I have it pulled up right, because there are some inconsistencies that I don't like. Well, I don't like any inconsistency, but you get what you get. That's what it is in life. And oh, I still have definitely an elk up on here. I'm so discombobulated. All right. I think I have the right one. Okay. So this is something, and I put a tweet under here, but this is what Barron was sharing earlier today or yesterday, 23 hours ago, not 33 hours ago. And it is something that Jack Posobiec once shared. And basically, what it's showing is his summer camp reading. That is Russian, I do believe. And his location on June 2017 says that it's the George Bush CIA intelligence area. So, someone under it, I found this to be actually the most interesting part. You speak Ruski too, and Polish, and Mandarin? A humble I don't even know how to say that, and I'm not going to say it. So cool. Tanya is awesome too. Great team. What does that mean? Great team. Like, why you and your wife speaking a language together means that you're a great team. That's not sus at all. And you're speaking Russian, Polish, and Mandarin and English? I don't know, but I don't like it, whatever it is. And it brings me to this video I came across with Blake Neff and Jack Posobiec, which I'm not actually convinced that Jack Posobiec is his real name, because if you try to look him up before he retires from military intelligence in 2017, Jack doesn't seem to exist. So I don't know if he's going by his middle name, but I'm not even really convinced that the last name is correct. And I don't know. I found that to be really weird. Maybe, you've swiped yourself completely off the internet before then, but for you to not really have a history and then to be super online working with Blaze Media and Roger Stone the way that you did, Um, and what I'm about to show after this, it's just really bizarre to me that that's even way, like, if you are trying to be that secretive, it doesn't make any sense why you would then go be completely in front of the spotlight and want everything going on. So, did think it was really weird. Got a burp. I'm glad that wait, I don't even know if it's got a burp or got a burks. I don't know what this is, but I'm glad you looked into it too. I burped once, so I thought that was a funny name because of that. I burped once. Everybody burps, but this is a pick up the mic event with Blake, and they are being asked about the LeVay person being taken off the website and Erica being in a video with the CIA about EMPs and stuff. So, gotta be XRP. That's embarrassing. I thought it was burp. I'm gonna hit play on this now.
Set up, when you talk about narrative formation, that nobody really, so if I was doing narrative formation and I am a prior intelligence officer, that, I would make sure that I would say to my subjects, hey, make sure you plug this thing, make sure you say this about Iran, make sure you say this about the war, make sure you say this about the president, et cetera. If I were, running that kind of operation, it's just, we just never done that. They said, here's the event, here you go, here's the room, here's the mics, have at it. And that was pretty much it. So if you're running a PSYOP like that, you want to make sure that you're hitting those repetition points over and over and over. Yet that's just not something that was set up. When you talk about narrative formation, that nobody really, so if I was doing narrative formation and I am a prior intelligence officer, that, I would make sure
So what's really weird to me about this is he's talking about it in past tense. The question that they're being asked is not really a past tense question. Before September 10th, 2025, I think that people were suspicious of some of the narratives that were being pushed. But after September 10th, 2025, it definitely seemed to have a lot of changes going on there. And I just almost burped, so excuse me. But what I found to be super interesting about this is the fact that he is talking about it in past tense. And then when you go and you look at what he has going on right now, you can see that he is clearly, this is what someone tweeted to me. Ashley. Well, I actually don't know if she tweeted it to under my tweet. I don't know. Anyways, found it to be, she did respond. I'm an idiot. Also, don't tag, please, if you are Ashley, don't tag the person I put in this. I don't want to be targeted by the AI manipulation they're using through the new FARA registrations, because I did see that and I've noticed some of it, and they'll put you on lists and then they will send fake accounts through some of their language learning to interact with you and stuff. So then you're interacting with them and then all of your accounts get suppressed. So I don't really want them on my stuff. But look at this over and over and over. The leftists. Charlie spoke about the left, but who said that Charlie was scared of the left afterwards? Because when Charlie said they in those text messages and everything else, did he say the left? I don't think he said the left. So it's really interesting when you continue to talk about being upset by the current state of affairs because the people don't want to believe what you're saying because it seems to have some type of narrative each time, that you almost always bring up primaries and elections. No one cares about that right now. You care about that right now. That's a you problem. If you care about that and you want certain things to change, you're going to have to make changes, and you're going to have to stop slopping around. You're going to have to do the hard work. You're going to have to do the right thing. And I don't know if maybe, the same person that was tweeting for Charlie all those years is tweeting for all of these people, and this is what it is, because I just simply don't understand not only this, but the tweets over and over again. I mean, look at this. It's the same car. Jack, you literally pulled up. First of all, you didn't even pull up. You had someone else pull you up in a Lotus. So I don't even know if you know how to drive the thing. But second of all, you are saying this is the same car? You really believe that? You 100% believe without conviction that this is the same car? This is why Charlie was a threat to them? I mean, what do you mean? What all of this is not true, and it's all the repetitive stuff. And the reason why it is these people rely on views, and people do not want to view what they're saying anymore. That I feel like that is 100% what it is. So thank you so much for the new people that are here and that Baron recommended me. That makes me feel great. I love watching Baron. I was watching from the truck today when I was driving home. So I didn't get to see the comments. And I was also like 30 minutes behind because when he said something today, I always tell my husband, I'm like, can you go screen record this comment that just got said whenever he says something kind or nice? Because when I'm having a bad day, I go back and watch them. And he couldn't figure it out because I was 33 minutes behind. But it made me laugh that I was 33 minutes behind. But yeah, thank you for coming in the comments. I do think Michael saying the sacrificial lamb thing, I do think that it is possible that that's what's going on. And I did look into Russell Kennington a little bit about that. So I was aware of that. But speaking of Jack, oh no, it's not gonna share this tab. Okay. Speaking of Jack, so Jack was with Rebel Media, and he was the first one, or known as the first one, to leak Macron leaks on Twitter really fast after it hit 4chan. So his claim through all of this was that a 4chan poster with a fake IP had tipped him off days earlier about a bigger dump coming. So it's like the second one he made go viral, the one right before elections, by the way. And he posted it really quickly. A lot of people said that they proved that he was using bots. And it was all far right accounts, or what's going to become the MAGA movement a little bit more perpetuated later on. And a lot of people were English speaking, but then WikiLeaks boosted it and it helped it push the story into the mainstream media. Even though the French were not reporting on it, because I guess they have a lot of press suppression and certain things there. And the Reddit profile alleged to be Lance Twiggs. I did want to note this because when I looked up the email that is in the first documents, when you go to Andrea Burkhart's website and you look at I don't know what document, so I can talk about it later. The email that one of those iMessage accounts or Apple ID accounts is tied to is a meme email address. Go look it up. It's on like the first, second, or third document on there for I don't know if it's the affidavit or what it is, but it's really interesting that that is only tied to a meme email address that doesn't have a phone number associated with it or anything else. It's like it's just this meme email. And then the other email only has one phone number associated with it and a few addresses, but it's a little bit weird. And Rim to give a thumbs up for all her hard work. Thank you. I don't know who Rim is, but thank you. Oh, are you saying, oh, remember? That's embarrassing. Ignore that. Thank you for giving me a thumbs up. So I love that I thought you were talking about someone named Rim or Remy. Anyways, I did want to note, he seems to be online a lot, or was at this time. Charles, the 12th, also seems to have too much screen time on his hand and like to attack women on the internet. This is the post, and this is an article about the leak going live stream. And I'm going to click on the hashtag so that you can see how much Jack was known as the Macron leaks guy. I mean, it was really weird. He's on here talking about it, the photos with him and his team. And then this is talking about it with Discord, and it's talking about, do we have memes for the email leaks? So do you see how it says don't tread on memes? So when you're looking at that affidavit and you see that on there, that's not weird at all, right? Huh. Not any narrative control. And also, wasn't France really relevant last fall? Someone just asked if that was my original hair color. I did dye my hair blonde once, but it was a lot to keep up with. My hair, it originally was super black, or dark, not black. And I guess I don't know if you call it highlights, the balayage thing, but I only get my hair done like twice a year because I love my hair, lady. I like to grow it out, and I have a lot of hair, so it's kind of expensive. This is the alleged Lance Twiggs Reddit profile, and he's commenting on 4chan, and it's talking about the trans shapes. And his comment says, I have to keep coming back to this post because I keep referencing it, and no one has any idea what the hell I'm talking about. I also thought it was really weird when we're talking about his gaming profile being changed, I think in 2023 or 2024, to the name Luna, and him saying it was for a short period of time. These trans posts on 4chan go on for a few years. So it doesn't make any sense. And for you to be spending a lot of time on 4chan as well, okay, that's not weird at all, right? But here we are, and we have Jack again. You can see, oh wait, you can't see my live caption thing I have turned on. My ADHD can be really bad, so sometimes I have to have captions on when something's going too slow to be able to pay attention. So I'm going to hit play on this. I think you should be able to hear the sound.
He's admitted with him and his older wife that there's a lot of weird stuff going on, and that she did know him back when she was married and all this. What's going on there?
That's right. So he was her high school student when he was 14 and 15. And then later, but it was stated that was when the relationship started, but that no sexual acts began until he was of legal age in France, which I believe is 18. So that right there tells me something very, very fishy is going on. She has children that are older than him, as a matter of fact. And it may be a way that they found this guy very, very young, and they were using that to essentially, turn him into a puppet, turn him into a marionette. And now they're plying him with drugs, keeping him drugged up, and getting him to do whatever they want. So yeah, you've got the article here at Got News where they're showing you this stuff, the way that they're controlling him, the same kind of mind control they use for celebrities, for actors, for musicians that we see around the world.
Now, what is this designer drug?
So this MMC3, it's essentially a combination of ecstasy and crystal meth, but they made it in such a way that it's synthetic, that it actually gets around most government security screenings and gets around most where you're trying to import it. You can synthesize it rather than have it to be grown or make it in a laboratory. So it's easier to get out. It's extremely expensive and it's incredibly illegal, but there's easier ways for them to get it in the EU. And that's one of the things that the elites are absolutely doing.
Well, I tell you, it just never ends.
So it's really weird that Jack would be saying that in 2017 on InfoWars when Jack today is 100% not using his brain cells anymore. So I'm not really sure if that drug came over to the United States from the EU a lot faster, quicker, whatever word you would use there. But Jack's name is all over the hashtag Macron leaks. And it's not just me posting this when I started to look into it. I mean, some people were being a little bit savage, but right here, 2022, this Jenny girl is great. You guys should all go follow her. But I mean, there were people that did whole things on it. In 2017, Roger Stone, Jack Posobiec shared hacked Macron emails. The White House gave him press credentials. That doesn't sound like Laura Loomer at all, does it? And then there were a lot of people even in 2017. The analysis showing that Rebel Media's Jack Posobiec started the Macron Leaks hashtag. And I mean, he's going on press conferences, he's doing tours. This person right here, he was the first person to tweet about the Macron Leaks and then use the bot to push it out. He's also Slav right. So it's, I don't know. This is him and his wife. This is a very inappropriate tweet, in my opinion, but Jack can say whatever he wants, just not about Tyler Robinson, right? So there was this whole thing about him using this word in this context. That sounds kind of gay to me, but that was a horrible joke. It's not really. You should never joke about that. And I get it in the context that he's using it, but it's just, I don't know. It's just kind of gross. Also thought it was really interesting when you're looking at the Macron leaks, there's a lot of Russian, like weird strings and this stuff going on. And that book that Barron showed was a Russian book. So not really sure what he's doing, but his name is the biggest name when you're looking at all of these things going on with it. And I have no idea how Jack Posobiec retires from military intelligence and then goes after Macron like this. And then, didn't say anything really when Candace was all of that came out. I don't think a single person helped her that was supposed to when they should have, unless that they're waiting on disclosing that further. But I thought that was really weird. I do think that this is really possible. Comments like this make me think he has some really dark secrets that are causing him to be blackmailed to play ball. Normal people don't joke like that, especially publicly. I think that a hive mentality is a very dangerous thing when you inspire people to just follow a leader or movement and not really think for themselves anymore. And I think that's what's really great I feel like the beginning of Charlie was like that until he got around people that they had to be right all the time. And not right like in a political way, but I mean right literally. And I think that's a very dangerous habit. It's a Bolshevik habit. And I mean, he's from that area, so it makes sense. Charlie did warn us that the Bolsheviks were coming. And I think he knew that they were already all around him. Nicole, does he look like George Santos or no? I don't, maybe. So I'm going to move on to a few other things real quick and finish this out. So I also need to change my light because I opened my eyes so big on this thing that it's really stressing me out. All right. I have, oh my gosh, my mouse, I lost it. And I don't have my fan on because it started squeaking really bad. And I need to put a new fan back up. Okay. I did want to mention this photo before I share the next thing. This is a photo of a bunch of people that I feel like are all tweeting the same narrative about what's going on right now. A lot of these people have started turmoil, beef. I mean, they're at the White House. Sam Parker tweeted this and labeled them all. I don't know if this specifically was from the DOJ binder incident. Not really sure. But I mean, they have name tags and special name labels. It's like they don't even know each other that well. If you zoom in here, you know what you'll see? A lot of these people were either there or tweeting about the preliminary hearing last week. I mean, almost every single one of them, actually. Hmm. God help you, because I I don't know anybody that could be that disgusting. So we are going to making sure I have the right one open. Okay. So this is the next order of business I have, and this is Amy Twigs. And this is Amy Twigs with something I know a lot about. So Amy Twigs is with a Chanel bag. Hi, Kira. Thank you for coming. I see you on here. She is holding a Chanel bag, and she is holding it in Monaco. And I think it's when they're with their cruise with her MLM that she went on. But she is literally holding a Chanel bag in her hands. I would assume it's new. I was looking at some of these indicators in the background. I don't know if PFA is buying her the Chanel bag. If it is, that's weird. Maybe they're in a bathroom. Maybe. I don't know. But she also took pictures with a pair of Chanel shoes that looked like they went and bought matching shoes. The girlies were together buying shoes. I wanted to pull up how much one of these bags cost, because I know a lot of people are not aware. And Chanel has raised their prices a lot in the past few years. So, I'm gonna pull this up. So this is the classic size. And I'm going to be really honest, it's kind of hard to tell. I thought it was either smaller or mini. So this one's a little bit more expensive. To get the classic size of this bag in the lambskin, and I'm pretty sure the one she's holding is lambskin, not it's so hard. It may be caviar. Anyways, the leather makes a little bit of a difference. That's almost $12,000 before tax. Yep. So we have that going on. And then the small one is $11,300. These are the shoes they took pictures in, by the way. And then the mini is almost $6,000. So $5,600 for the mini Chanel classic handbag. Yeah, that is what we have going on. I always think it's crazy they have these gold ones. I could look at bags all day. Love a good bag. I don't have a Chanel bag though. Maybe Amy Twigs does. But these shoes, and I don't know if this is the exact style because you can only see the front of them. These shoes are over $1,000, but she definitely has a pair of these, if they're not like copycat shoes, with her friend that they went on vacation with, and they are the Chanel. This pointed toe look is a thing going on right now. It's kind of a fad. I don't think it's going to last forever, and I don't think it's a very good investment of a shoe, to be honest with you. I think it's a little bit silly. I think Chanel shoes are crazy in price. But I did want to bring us to the next order of business, and it is this Google search trend of Lance Twigs. And Barron mentioned it. And he put a screenshot and did a video on it. So you should go, I will screenshot or I will retweet this. But Barron is saying, I'll look at Turkey Tom's YouTube video where he heard from a 6-year associate of Lance Twigs and Tyler Robinson. But he was actually talking to an undercover Fed? This is a picture from September of 2020 to September 2025 with Lance Twigs having pops on October 11th to the 17th of 2020. 75% of the searches were then. And the other ones were in between then and 2022. So it's real weird when you think about some of this stuff going on, and Amy Twigs kind of going with careers that were just MLMs for a very long time. So I am going to remember that 6-year thing again, because I do think that is very important here. And I'm going to pull up this part of the Turkey Tom video for the beginning. I do think it's relevant because I think that there were people trying to manipulate the narrative.
Of what I'm about to show you guys, but I'm going to try my best. With that out of the way, let's get a few basic facts straight. The date is September 10th, 2025. Charlie Kirk is shot and killed. Over the next few days, law enforcement and internet investigators pore over the available information to identify the killer. Eventually, they determine it to be Tyler Robinson, and they also realize that Tyler has a transgender romantic partner named Lance Twiggs. Tyler is arrested, Lance cooperates with the police, and then disappears from the public eye. 13 days later, I released a video going over all of the publicly available information about Tyler and Lance. Articles, witness testimony, Lance's TikTok and Reddit accounts, and I thought that was it. But then I received a message. This message was from a third party who was close to both of them and remained in contact for 6 years up until the attack took place. They reached out to me, providing never-before-seen information on the lead-up to what happened. To my knowledge, the only other people who have this are the FBI. Now, as I go over this information, you'll notice that some of it is redacted, but I've redacted it myself with the exclusive intention to preserve the anonymity of both this person and other people who are named, who have nothing to do with Tyler's crime. Now, keep in mind, these claims are being made by an anonymous leaker. There could be more to certain events that we're simply not aware of, and other details that may explain more of the story. Additionally, some of this video is my opinion and should be treated as such. But I've done my best to provide you all with the information I'm able to share to the extent it can be verified. In his first message to me, this person said, "Hello, I just watched your video on the Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler and thought you did a good job. I happen to know Tyler and Lance in real life. I don't take a lot of pictures, so I can't prove it very well, but I am in Discord servers where both of them are, including the one where Tyler posted his confession. I have some pictures of the apartments and some stories I can tell." There were 2 pictures attached underneath. One of Tyler's confession in the Discord chat that matched the ones published by Ken Klippenstein, which were then republished by every major news outlet. The other picture is a completely original photo of local police at Tyler Robinson and Lance Twiggs' place, taken from across the street. For the sake of verification, he later also provided me with archives of the 3 Discord servers they shared, which I'll eventually go over the relevant parts of. Once this person's identity was verified, he proceeded to tell me about the state of Tyler and Lance's living space. The apartment would drastically shift from clean to super dirty, depending on the state of Lance's mood. I don't have too many pictures of most of the mess, but basically, he'd start living in the living room and just start turning it into his nest. After the first roommate moved out, and right after Tyler moved in like 2 weeks later, Lance had a really big breakdown. The living room went from a place guests came over to something that had to be hid. People still came over, but everyone got weirded out by all the trash. He basically had layers of wires, random Temu trinkets, decorations.
So I'm going to prove to you that this is not a real leak, and I'm going to prove it in a few ways. Number one, they are claiming that they have known these people for 6 years. Did you see how it also just talked about Tyler moved in like 2 weeks after the other person moved out? Well, in Lance's testimony, and we'll go over it, but I'm pretty sure Tyler moved into the apartment in 2023, and he acted like he didn't really know him before that. Maybe they knew of each other, but they didn't know him directly. The video is Turkey Tom's, the Charlie Kirk Discord logs, and it is his October 22nd, 2025 video. You can type in Turkey Tom Lance Twiggs, and it'll pop up 2 videos he did about it. I'm going to show the Discord logs thing in a second, and I'm going to show you how someone was trying to control this narrative, and I think purposely leaked false information to Turkey Tom. And it makes me very upset that someone did this, because I do think that it was clearly for a narrative. Like we just heard about repeating things over and over and over. So I'm going to play this part.
For a while because he kept touching the Temu trinkets. I wish I still had pictures, but I felt sort of guilty and deleted them since I knew Lance wasn't in the right state of mind. For context, I've been playing games with Lance and Tyler for like 6 years. I count my...
So they were playing games for like 6 years. So they were only roommates from 2023 to 2025. according to the testimony. And I would like to see a, what do you call that? A lease on that. Anyways, so I'm going to share, this is under that video. You can see this under the video. Sorry, I just clacked. I need a mute button. I really need a cough button, guys. Sorry. Yeah, me too, but this came off the opposite of Tom's video. Made me think Lance did it, so just saying. I don't think Lance is smart enough for that. I think Lance actually uses Discord, and I think whoever leaked these does not use Discord. And I'll show you why, because it's quite impossible for these to be the actual Discord messages. I also don't think Lance would have anything to gain from pretending to be a psychopath. So I get what you're saying. Whoever leaked this, I think almost wanted to back up Patsy. In my opinion, because I think that they were worried the first one was going to fall through. And I think that you could do this a lot of different ways. They could have a mutual friend that took them to a shooting range, that had them touch a weapon, that had them wipe their hands on a towel. You know, hey, could you guys you help me put some light bulbs in my house? Or, oh yeah, to put this together at the range, we have to use this screwdriver or whatever. It's also not that hard to transfer DNA in 2026. You can look into the Ken Starr, Monica Lewinsky stuff. You can look up how the first test results had none of Bill Clinton's DNA and how a lot of that story doesn't make any sense. I will say, he is also claiming in here. So under his video, all of these drawings are in here. I did do a video going over a lot of these, just so you guys know. So, I mean, it was very long. I think I did 2 whole videos on these because I do think some of these are showing the map of UVU and what's been going on, or what was going on that day. This, I do believe, is a real screenshot. This screenshot was the one that was leaked by Clint Klippenstein. So, I mean, anyone could have done that. Anyone could have created this screenshot as well. So, or a picture of this. Anyone that lived around the area. I don't know. This person was playing games with them for 6 years. I do have it on my Canva, but a lot of these I feel like show what happened at UVU. I think there are a lot of words in here that make a little bit too much sense. Calm down, stabilize. There's one that says shit, go to store. Where do we see the surveillance? Good call. There's a lot of them where the dots look super relevant. There's a lot of them that say STFU. There's some, and I know that I've looked at these so much. I know that sounds insane. I mean, look at this. A little arrow dot here. What does this look like at the plaza area? What's that straight shot? What are these? What's 1205, 1206? So if this is the corner of the Losi building right here where they scribbled and did weird stuff all over it, and this is where Charlie Kirk's tent was at, and then it looks like someone's being drugged, a stick figure right here, and another stick figure driving it or dragging it back to where the SUV would be at. What's 1205, 1206? And why is there another dot over here that looks like the science and engineering building? I don't know. That's not weird at all. That's not weird at all. No, sir. No, sir. E-Bob. But I don't know. I mean, some of it does look like crazy people scribbles. But I don't think it all looks like crazy people scribbles. I don't even think that Lance possibly did these. And that's what's so crazy. Because I don't think you would let anyone in your house that was... I do think you would let people in your house if you were not mentally well. I do not think that if you knew someone was mentally unwell, you would be sifting through their crap that they didn't want you touching on the table, and then you would take a bunch of pictures of it. I mean, would any of you guys do that? I do think that the red possibly was... That's what's weird is it looks like weird plans where they're almost trying to like say just enough, not enough. I do not like it. I don't like it at all. And I have some that I'll pull up. You can go back and look at those videos are pretty long. I need to get better at clipping again, so I'm sorry. But I mean, there's a lot of the same angles. The stairs are over here. This is literally where that camera is that picks up the person coming to the corner, taking the shot. You can and you kind of have to look at it in a weird way, but they're stating Tyler was here. There's an arrow from here to here where it says STFU again, by the way. And then he had to hop over a fence. There's like down, up, down, and the camera's right here. They get weirder though. Like you keep going, move out, sharpen self, stop searching for others, basically. There's just, I've looked at these so much. The paper ones, I think, are the most damning. This looks exactly like the top of the area where Charlie's tent was at. There's drop it. I mean, the dots, I think, are what are important because the dots are relevant. And one of them, it says something about the dots, but I mean, warn time. Another dot. Huh. This one, they're on one of the roofs. You can see they do have these ladder type things. Stop looking for others. It's not weird at all, right? So if you were right here and someone was at the corner of the Losi building and you were at a building in the back or over to the side and you got down off the roof, it's just, it's weird. I know that it sounds crazy. It doesn't make sense to me. None of it does. I mean, there's one that says drop. There's drop. That's not weird at all with the text messages, right? Problems, drama, stop trying into style. This one, and I have this over a map. So Lance made his username, or allegedly Lancelotl, which is like an axolotl. And if you're looking at it, and I know this is really weird, okay? So this is weird. This says reasons to keep clear right here, all right? And there's a circle right here. There's a stop. And it says drop, dead drop right here, okay? This is kind of where if you're looking at an aerial view, the top of view, and I have an image I'll pull up showing this with it so that you have some opacity. This is where that camera picks up somebody being on the Losi Center. If you were entering up through the steps, you would have to enter up where this little dot's at up here to get to the point where you can go to everything else. It says director. There's another dot. This is where the walkway is at from the Losi roof to the CS, or the Science and Engineering building. Again, reasons to keep clear right here is where the camera's at. This, to me, also looks like the road going across, and this kind of looks like the parking lot, literal STFU, or what? STFU or stop. What does that mean? What are you going to stop everybody? Is the person over here on this roof that would also have a straight shot from these dots right here with the trees looking at it from Google Earth? Is that what they're saying? Because when you look at it and you see that they have a straight line from here and a straight line from here, Charlie could very easily be this person right here. And it makes me uncomfortable looking at these, seeing all of it. Speak to star, just chill, slow up. Ugh, I don't know. This is the one where it says shit, go to store. Sorry, I just said that out loud. But Lance is a weird guy. allegedly, if he did draw these. So these are the Discords. And I'm going to say, it says this person sent me the Discord logs under the name, pretty mundane, and picked out what's the most notable. This is what I want you to pay attention to. Also, as you read, keep in mind that conversations move from the bottom page upwards. That is not a thing you can do in Discord. Okay. So I only know this because I learned how to use Discord because of Charlie and because of all of this going on. And I knew nothing about Discord before. I think I tried to use it a couple years ago when someone at a job wanted me to, and I could not figure it out for the life of me. It can be nice to research with people and things like that. I get why it can be a bad thing. Hive mentality is very dangerous. There are a lot of things about this that are weird because these are not real Discord messages at all. They're not. And let me pull that back up. So I'm going to. All right. Actually, I am going to do it that way. Sorry. I was trying to think. I don't know why I keep going. Peace sign. Like, I don't know why that was so relevant right there. All right, here we have our Chanel girly. Back at it again. Back at it again. Okay. So I am way off of where I want to be at. We're going to talk about that in a second. What was I talking? Oh, I'm so far. All right. Out of order. Okay. So this is allegedly what is the screenshot. There is a bunch of articles. We can go over this later, but I wanted to get why I think these are not real at all. The reason why I don't think these are real at all, I went to Discord's website because I started to realize that they were going in the wrong order. So if you use Discord, the message that you see on the top here from 9/12/2025 should actually be at the bottom. There's no way in hell, unless this was a fabricated image, that this is a feature that you can even do on Discord. And I had 2 other people double check this that I know. I tried to mess with my own settings. It's not possible. So just so you know, these messages are either fabricated to make it look better from the Discord logs or whatever they were working with. But if that's the case, why wouldn't you just publish the Discord logs? I don't know. Maybe I missed that part of the video reviewing it again, that he made that a reason why, but it also doesn't make any sense unless some European or someone or something like that did it, that you would have it in a backwards order. So when you are using Discord, by the way, with narrative control, maybe you would want to use Eastern Daylight Time because of the FBI press releases that I'll go over here in a second too. But when you use Discord, if you have Discord, go look at your old messages. It does not have the time zone you are in. It's an automated feature for Discord to show your time zone. So, doesn't make any sense. The other thing I wanted to note. What is this even? If you have not seen the news, Tyler's post above, it true, like is true. You had a typo in your fake image. Secondly, it's below, you freaking idiot. It is not above. All right. So I don't know if you are blind, you lack logic, brain cells. I don't know what you lack, but you lack a lot of things. That's to put it nicely. It is impossible for this to work. So I went, and this is an example. 1029, a message sent at 1029 on the same day would be above the message that has 1035. And the other thing I wanted to know about these images, if you have Discord, go look at it. Do you have a shadow under your username profiles and all of that? You don't. doesn't exist. So 100% fabricated. These Discord features that people submit, and I've worked in software, so I know that this is a thing all the time. You have like an implementation and, idea area for people to submit things. They want an option to set the channel's reading order from oldest to newest. This is 7 years ago. Like the title said, this could be really useful for rules, introductions, guides, and many similar kinds of channel. I have been in many servers, and the first thing I do is myself with the server's rule. But seeing the end of the rule set first and to have it to scroll far up to read the rule makes it really awkward and strange. And you know what? I agree with you, but that's also why most people have a separate channel just for the rules and no one can comment. So it's weird. Then we have this person 6 years ago. Add an option to reverse chat order to show the oldest chats at the bottom and the new chat at the top. Add an option to reverse chat order to, yeah, I just said that. This may be more inclusive to people from cultures that view time proceeding as going up instead of just the traditional Western idea of new equals down. So, guys, what does that mean to you when you think about the verbiage of the text messages that came out? Because it looks like verbiage that someone in law enforcement would use, doesn't it? That's so weird, right? That's so weird. You know what? It's not even weird compared to everything else. Like, I don't know why I think it can't get more weird, because it does. These are people commenting about it. 4 years ago, people looking at the bottom of the screen for new messages is a pain in the bloody neck. That sounds like British. Literally, what does FFS mean? I don't even know. I don't know. Freaking frack shack. How hard would it be to add up to have an add-on? Okay, I can't read anymore. They're all like this. They're all like this. And remember what we just saw about someone being Eastern Slav, being a part of narrative control, and knowing Russian, and the Macron leaks having Russian in it. Wow. You think Tyler Robinson, that didn't really talk about politics, is going to talk about Putin? You think he's not going to put a capital P? Or I guess Fluxolotl is actually Lance. Fluxolotl is Lance. I'm an idiot. Ignore me. But it's also really interesting that Lance would be talking about Putin when he didn't talk about politics. He didn't know anything about politics, and he's spending a lot of time in 4chan. Oh, look, 33. 33 at 3:33 p.m. I'm glad that he was awake at that time. He usually sleeps till 1 p.m., right? He sends a YouTube. Tyler, 17 minutes earlier below, because some European or somebody wrote this. I'm going to be on a trip down the river till the 25th and there's not any service. Is that what he was doing on September 10th, 2025? Fluxolotl. It's Putin, but he's wide. Makes me laugh every time. Oh, he likes memes too? Wow. I have returned, he says, when he returns from his fishing trip. Wasn't a fishing trip, no fish. I rode a raft down the Colorado River from Beaver Dam for about 240 miles down the stream. Saw the majority of the Grand Canyon from the bottom. It's out of order. These are fake. Maybe he edited them to show the logs. These are fake messages. 100% fake messages. There's no way that these are real messages. And it leads me to think about it. Why would these exist if this exists? It was me at UVU. I'm sorry for all of this. I'm surrendering through a sheriff friend in a few moments. You didn't know a lot about law enforcement. Why don't you just say through a friend? Why would you say in a few moments? Thanks for all the good times and laughs. You've all been so amazing. Thank you all for everything. No period at the end either, by the way. So if you're playing games with people, 9:57 p.m., you get that message. You're in Eastern time. How'd you meet these people? Why are you playing games with them if you're in Eastern time? You're kind of far away from them, actually. So I do think that that's really relevant. It doesn't make any sense. And this little image right here does look like a Discord image, doesn't it? That broken cell phone area up there that shows a similar image. So it's weird. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm not saying it's Detective Hall, but does he read up or does he read down? That's that's the questions. The questions I have. The questions I have. You guys have so many comments. I'm sorry I haven't. I will look at them. But if you could, and you're getting here and you could like the show, that'd be really great. I would love that so much. It would be like my birthday in whatever freaking month it is, July. Not even close to my birthday. So I did want to point out a few things about the text messages. I'm not going to get to it because I'm going to have to hop off here soon. I am extremely tired, kind of losing my voice. I did want to mention a few things about this and the other thing to wrap all of this up. So when you're looking at these text messages and it's saying at the top here, number one, this looks weird. If you have an iPhone, FaceTime looks really weird. This looks like a weird Discord thing that would be up here that we just saw from that screenshot. It's also really weird to me that you would have a break right here and that your phone would be super broken. Did you break it jumping off a roof? And then take a little hammer to that spot right there, or a Dremel, because it's circular. So the text that he's allegedly getting, and my phone's in dark mode, so I also don't think these are 100% correct, because I don't know if this iOS in dark mode looked like this, but it's saying 7 p.m. That still work for you. That's how they're texting at the beginning of this. Yup. Okay. Then on Monday, he says, I love you with a bunch of explanation points. Lance does. Love you too. He only says he only has two of them. Only two. I hope work's going well. Or hope work's going well. He really needs to like lay off the junk food on the screen. There's like boogers. Is that snot? I love you, moi moi. At 4. Wait, do you see the time? Do you guys see that time? That's another 33. Okay. So I'm just saying, that 33 is there again. Exactly 4:33. I love you, Morsies. Moi, moi, moi. Do you think that they spell moi the same way? Wednesday, 11 p.m. Drop what you're doing and look over the keyboard. We're going to go over this, but when you have a dead pixel, guess what doesn't show through your dead pixel on your phone, your dead space? The letters. The letters do not show. You would not see the line on the R. You would not see the line on the N. It's actually impossible. So, not a thing. Oh, you remember all of those, I think, punctuation points appear with I love you? Would you look at that? Look at this. What? You're joking, right? Bleep, bleep, bleep. I tried to delete that. Oh, look, you can see the line of the U. So weird, isn't it? That's so weird. Where's that? So, I did want to mention, and I think I have it. No, I don't have it on here. I'm going to mention this about this. So, the transcript, when they're being they're on the stand this last week about it, they ask if it's a photograph of Lance's phone. And then they do ask to clarify. You said photograph. You also said screenshot. Can you clarify and differentiate or clarify there? Yeah, sorry. There are These are photographs directly from Lance's phone. How do you know that? In Lance's first interview, he's showing the FBI agents these text messages. Describes them to agents. And at that time, those in his phone is photographed. Those his phone is photographed. Does that seem very clear to you? Because these don't look like a phone that is photographed, in my opinion. The hand looks horrible. Maybe they were really holding the phone, but I mean, you have a meme as the thing and a heart, and you just call each other Tyler, and you don't know that much about each other. The other thing I wanted to note here, rifle. That's not a word someone uses for the most part. Unseen. Evidence. Retrieve. Midnight. How long have you been planning this? A bit over a week, I believe. If you knew, why are you saying a bit? This one really got me. Squad car. Who says squad car? Is it like, do you guys, when you talk about a police officer, are you saying squad car? It's not even just the spelling that's really off. Orem for a little while longer yet. Okay, Shakespeare. My rifle still. I hope I died of old age. Who wants to die of old age? Not me. I don't want to be that old. I don't want to be living to be 150. Sounds miserable. Miserable. Interrogated. In similar clothing. Rifle. Drop point. Remember that drawing that said drop point? Shortly after. Locked down. Vehicle. Who calls their car a vehicle? You say truck, you say car, you say SUV, or you say the model. You're like, oh, my Durango. Oh, my Tacoma. Oh, yeah, I drive a F-150. I drive the. Do you know anybody that says, oh, I got to go get this crap from my vehicle? There's a vehicle lingering. My vehicle is parked in the parking garage that I had to pay to park in because you have to pay to park in there. And I was trying to be secretive, but I went and I decided to park in a parking garage with my vehicle and my rifle with me. And I decided to go meet with a TPUSA representative and then eat the Lord's chicken. Even though I am a trans furry, I'm going to eat the Lord's chicken today. That's what I want. It may be my last meal. So I want the Lord's chicken. And then I'm going to go get back in my car, leave, come back, and then do a costume change a few times. And according to Spencer Cox, change on the roof. And then assemble and deassemble my rifle. As it's the campus right before it gets locked down, when I put it at my drop point under a tree, but they call it a bush in some things. And I just linger with my vehicle in similar clothing. I turn myself in the next day in similar clothing, and I get interrogated. It's disgusting. This is so disgusting. Maybe Tyler Robinson texts like this. The dead pixels on his phone just magically also show up like this. You're taking a picture like this. So you may also be able to fake a photo on your phone and have this pulled up like you have any other photo pulled up. Let me pull up a photo. Does it take up the whole screen? I'm going to pull up one. This is me in Bryce Canyon. Can you pull it up so that it... Actually, I feel like you could screen. Oh, you 100% could. I did it again. Sorry, guys. Whoopsies. Wait. Actually. Oh, I guess it does have it in there. Guys. No way. This is I think these are screensavers. If you have an iPhone, go to your phone right now. I text myself all the time, so I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna show you on my screen. And it's a different iOS, but I don't use SUV very often. So people are saying I say vehicle. Tammy! It's okay. We still love you, Tammy. This person saying I'll wear these clothes a little while longer yet before changing again, and then turning myself in the same original clothes without my shorts. I wear jeans, but I arrived on campus with shorts. My boyfriend, the lover, knew me, even though we had separate bedrooms, knew me by my jeans, but I arrived on campus in shorts. I have started to refer to others as vehicles after several arguments over SUV versus truck. Listen, if you're from the Midwest, that can be a jab. I mean, but if you drive a GMC, I don't really even know if that's a truck. I'm joking. It's better than a Dodge. But someone said occasionally, but usually it's car or truck. Don't use SUV very often. Yeah, I feel like people with SUVs call them like the Expedition, the Durango. Like they call it the model. I feel like truck, you can say my truck. I feel like that's more normal than saying the type of truck. But vehicle is just it's a very specific terminology. If you guys have an iPhone, I was looking at my phone. When you are in iMessage, and I have my text pulled up to myself, go to text, and you guys, I bet you do not have this bar at the very bottom of your screen, right? Does anyone have that bar at the bottom of their screen? That's in the chat. You do. MD Hall is saying yes. You have that when you're in your text messages, not your lock screen, because the only time I have that, no bar. See, I don't have that either. And I know it's a different iOS, so I'm going to have to go and look at this. These are text messages, and I have like a camera set up, so I don't even know how you guys are going to see this. And I exit. I don't know how to see what you guys are seeing now. I lost everything. Okay, but yours has the bar, MDR. No, when you're in your text. Really? What type of phone do you have? What model? When I go to my text with myself, because I text myself all the time, I do not have a bar at the bottom like I'm texting myself, okay? Like there is no bar at the bottom. You can see all the glare, so that's really nice. It's like an inception on the computer. Yeah, but this is a bigger phone. So I don't think that it's possible. You're going to see my inspiration board. My lock screen has the bar. I don't know if you can see it because it has like a bunch of beach stuff. My lock screen has the bar at the bottom of the screen. You guys see that same bar? You see how it's also not like super, I do have a privacy screen on mine, but it goes away very quickly. I have the 17 Pro Max. You have the iPhone 15. I'll have to look up what phone. I know that the iOS can make a big difference. That bar does not exist when I am in the text messages with myself. And mine doesn't even pop up for a second to be able to swipe up like that. I know I can swipe up, but it's not there. My phone and my last phone has always had that for the lock screen. So if you guys are looking at the lock screen on your phone, you can see it at the bottom there. And I am wondering if these are a picture of a lock screen. And that's what these messages are. Because you could have that and you could pull up those messages on your lock screen and you could just very quickly change your lock screen or have it changing. Have it to be a video that's playing. There's a lot of different things that you could do. And that would make a lot more sense why this dead space exists that you can just see right through. That's not how dead space works. So it's not physically how it works. Not only with the weird difference in certain other aspects I'm not even going to get super into, but when you're looking at a dead pixel, and my husband's phone is broken like this, and he needs to go get it fixed. He probably fell asleep and is not hearing this in the other room, but we need to go get his phone fixed. You cannot see, look, this word make right here and here in the H in headshot. You cannot see the letter H through the green dead pixel space. You cannot see this part of the E through the dead pixel space or on make. And you're not going to see it from a screenshot, right? You're going to see it from a picture of the phone. When you screenshot it, it just simply doesn't exist. It's bigger example, zoomed in. The O in opinion, I think, unpopular. Unpopular opinion. Oh my gosh, are they talking about Jack Posobiec? This is an example with the dead pixel space. This is a zoomed in example of one of those text messages saying, a bit over a week, I believe. I can get close, but there's a squad car parked right by it. Would you look at that? The E is also off, but I mean, you can see it above the freaking dead pixel space. That's not how it works. It's dead. It's not a zombie. We're not bringing it back to life. We're not bringing it back to life. The bar on the bottom is to scroll up. I've seen that in the comments right here. MD Hall, if you would like to look that up, that'd be great. The latest update. Yeah, but don't install the update just because of that. I don't want you to edit your phone just because me. I would feel bad. I refuse to update my phone until it doesn't freaking work. So my husband gets so annoyed because he'll be screwing up and I'll be sitting there like, "Blah," and he's like, have you done the update? And I'm like, no. I don't know. I just don't do that. Tammy's saying, isn't the bar at the bottom to scroll up and get out of the text messages? Yes, but that bar does not show in any of my text messages. I go to any of my text messages right now. So like, oh wait, it showed with my, it showed for a second with somebody that has an Android. It showed for 1 second there. Anyone else, it's not showing for me. So I don't know. Maybe I'm special. We're all special in our own ways, right? Shapiro and ChatGPT, I don't know what this means. iOS 18-ish. 18.7.8. That's what you have. Okay, I'm going to save that. I'm actually going to take a picture of that. Okay, wait, what did he say? Okay. And the newer iPhone, it only shows when I first open the app. Yeah, it would not show for these maybe Lance is just, he's not working. He's sleeping till 1. Maybe he can't afford a new phone. If you're not working, how do you even afford a phone? Questions I have for you, Lance. And then I have a lot more questions, but yeah, that's one of them that's just kind of weird. None of it makes sense. When you're looking at them, the way that, even with the light, okay? The way that the FaceTime icon goes from this to this. Oh, look at that the Y. Y is the dead space. Y is the Y over the dead space. What the frack? What in the heck? You're really working that hard for this slop. Think we're just going to buy it? You literally have him saved. Isn't this meme one of the memes that was engraved? I'm pretty sure. I looked up, I remember that weird. I'm I don't understand memes. I don't understand jokes. I'm only funny when I don't try, so does not make sense to me. I also loved how they bleeped out the cuss words. So cussing's bad. Okay. But there are a few other things with this, but the other thing I wanted to note here that I do think is very relevant and very important is the timeline of how some of this came out and then what Lance says about when they met. So, when we're looking at Charlie Kirk and Donald Trump, this predates 2025. Donald Trump, I do think Roger Stone was a big part of perpetuating him into the space properly, him coming down off the escalator. Charlie was already in politics. I think that they both got propelled at the same time. I don't know if Donald Trump and Charlie Kirk were ever supposed to cross paths in the way that they did, in the way that I believe Kanye, Candace, and Charlie did. Because I think when you have people that literally don't care what other people think, it can be a really good thing. But it can be a really scary thing for people that do care what other people think and need other people for their narratives and things that they need. So, the dead pixel anomaly needs to be looked into further. There's a lot of examples of that in there. It's really weird. I don't like it. Seems younger kids go with all updates. I mean, he's updating himself allegedly with, I'm saying, I don't know why I said that like I'm Canadian. I'm American, I promise. With black market hormones. So I would assume he's updating his cell phone. I mean, you're putting in illegal substances in your body like that. You're just injecting them. Also, like, who even does that? I always thought Tyler Robinson had an Android because of the size in his pocket, whoever's on campus. That is a good point. And who are you, MD Hall? I don't know who you are, but I love these comments that you're saying. Love it. You got to sleep until 1 p.m. when you flux a lot, I guess. Flux also is an electrical term, so I did think that was really weird. MD Hall, pretty please. Seems pretty please what? I don't know. My son has a green line and it takes out the letter completely. I know. I'm telling you, these text messages, the pictures of the text messages are fabricated, and I do believe. Okay. I take that back. I believe these pictures are fabricated due to multiple inconsistencies, the language used, and a lot of other things. So they don't feel right. They don't feel right. I don't know why you would even be waiting, and I know other people have talked about this. I don't know why you would wait for something that you would leave, first of all. I mean, why would you just not take it wherever you went? And it doesn't make any sense to me. And why are you texting about it? Why would you not call each other? You know what Jeffrey says in the emails when he no longer wants to, the ones that he's not trying to plant to frame somebody or anything like that or use for blackmail later? What does he always say? Call me. Let's Skype. He is very particular about what he chooses to put in writing. So I don't know what it is. I love you too, MD Hall. I don't even know. I love you now. Oh, wait, you're saying I love you to someone else. That's awkward. I love you, MD Hall. Moi. Just like Lance. Tyler has an Android, especially the worn pocket jeans and the stairwell. If it was Tyler, I don't think Tyler, but whoever it was has an Android. I did think the colors of those text messages are really weird too, because my phone's in dark mode. I don't know if it is the iOS feature. There is that. So could be a lot of things. Did we ever get an explanation on why he left it? I don't get it. He was able to take the clothes. He hasn't spoken on anything. I also think if you were on a camping trip and saw that crap on your phone, you would be pretty freaked out. You would call your parents. I mean, I think if he had involvement in it, he should get in trouble, but I believe in justice. I believe in truth, and I don't believe innocent people should go to jail unless you have evidence to prove what they did, what they're charging them for. So, I love you. I love you too, MD. I love you too. I love you too. So, I'm going to talk about a few things with this timeline. I'm going to wrap it up with one other thing with Lance saying when he meets his lover and how they get together. But what weirds me out, we have Kash Patel at 2:53 p.m. on September 10th. We are closely monitoring reports of the tragic shooting involving Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. Our thoughts are with Charlie, his loved ones, and everyone affected. Agents will be on the scene quickly, and the FBI stands in full support of the ongoing response and investigation. One problem with this. FBI agents were already on the ground when he tweets this. I'm in Eastern time, okay? So I'm pretty sure this was 12:53 p.m. If that shot rang out at 12:23 p.m., like we're told in Mountain Standard Time, and the FBI gets there less than 20 minutes later, 17 minutes or something like that, they were already there. And why are you tweeting about it? Is Twitter my official tax-paying dollar means of communication? Because a PayPal bro bought it? I don't like it. Get it out of here. Then the White House is tweeting, all of this stuff. 4:50 p.m. 6:21. Kash Patel. The subject for the horrific shooting today that took the life of Charlie Kirk is now in custody. Thank you to the local and state authorities in Utah for your partnership with the FBI. We will provide updates when able. Well, that's Zach Qureshi right there. Zach Qureshi was apprehended from his apartment. You know who wasn't apprehended from his residence? Tyler Robinson. Tyler Robinson was not. He turned himself in, actually. He turned himself in, and I think he had good reason to turn himself in. But what I did want to also show you is this that I realized yesterday with the help of my buddy Marsh. And there's a road in Orem. The FBI had no jurisdiction. Well, there's a state FBI, and it is a state case. So I do think, oh no, I went away on accident. Sorry. That was so awkward, guys. I don't think anyone knew what jurisdiction was what. I think everybody was very confused. I want to point out a Lancelot Drive. Lancelot Drive in Utah. Because that's a username that's on here. And it's where apartments are at. Lancelot Drive. And I just feel like that is the weirdest thing. When we're talking about the incidents that happened at Utah Valley University. Lancelot Drive. Doesn't make any sense. And it's right by a park. And the park, I don't think is super relevant, but there was this picture of a demon hunter. I know that sounds silly. That's what the caption said. And I was trying to picture what park it was at because it looks like the time of year with the way that the leaves are in the background that looks like it's from September 10th. And it's Lance Twig's cousin in all black, his friends on a swing saying demon hunters. All black long sleeve shirt. And I can't figure out what park it's taken at. And it's been bugging me. And it's not this park right here by this Lancelot Drive. I think that'd be silly. It's not because I already checked. Actually, Yeah, I don't think it can be. I'm gonna have to go back and look at that again. I was really tired when I looked last, but um, if you are in YouTube and you go to my Marsh, can you put it up? I don't know how to do that. Oh, I also did want to put up the fair use disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. I don't think I have my. I think it's this. Dom, I don't get a dom.com. I don't know how to do this. I'm making a banner right now. Oh, wow. There you go. That's my email. I don't know how I did that, but that's cool. I don't know what settings I did to get that off of here, so I don't know. He would have taken it to the car. He was meticulous with the clothes, and it's not adding up. I don't think they were meticulous with the clothes. I think that they all would have had the same hat. And the same color backpack, at least. Men. The backpack was a different color. I'm joking to all the guys in here, but you ask a lot of questions. Keep it up. That's funny. Actually, I bought Marsh a bunch of axolotls. I kept finding them everywhere. SBI is for state of Utah. Yes, but I'm pretty sure the SBI is under the FBI in Utah. And the other thing I wanted to mention, Lance is given federal and state immunity. So, I don't know. Lance knows he'll be taken out. He goes to the courtroom. Tyler knows he'll be taken out if he speaks about what happened too. They both destroyed their lives being a part of this. Did they? I don't know. It's hard because there's so many factors that go into something like this. I think that something like this could instill great changes that we also need in our nation. And I think that everything happens for a reason. But our judicial system is weaponized depending on who is in charge of the country. And I don't think that's right. And it wasn't right when it happened to Donald Trump and people cried about it. And it wasn't right when it happened on January 6th, with Jack Posobiec was also out, by the way. But two wrongs don't make a right. And it's like, when does it stop? When do you stop screaming about the leftists and realize you are acting just like who you complain about? It's sad. It's screwed up. So I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know where that AI, LOL. What? I don't know the AI. I do know AI a little bit. A banner. It is a banner. I have it in the banner. Oh, banner. Where that is. I'm a car girl. I've also agreed that there were some inconsistencies. I am correct. Dawn. I now go by Dawn. Nothing else. I did wear a lot of mustaches in Mexico. I don't drink, so I bought a bunch of stick-on mustaches. And no, it's right here. My email right here is in the video at the bottom. Dom@idon'tgiveadom.com. It's right there. MD Hall. Look, I'll put it in the. I'm gonna get distracted, MD Hall. I'm gonna get distracted. I have my banner. I have a map. I'm getting so distracted. I'm losing my voice. Okay, so I don't know how to turn off the banner. There we go. The banner's off. Now I have a comment up here. Okay. I wish the Supreme Court would come down. The Supreme Court would come down and explain exactly what the Constitution says about weaponizing the law. Then they couldn't do this back and forth. Well, guys, I hate to break it to you. We are in charge of the government, even though we elect other people to represent us. And at the end of the day, yes, it is a big problem that it's incentivized weird and that primaries are fake and ugly and dumb, but they work for us. And um I think more people have to care about it. And I think that we have to stop being so polarized about it. It's really a lot of it is silly when you remove the emotional aspects of it. So so yeah, I was talking to someone about the death penalty today. Um because I used to be very against it. And then I sat and watched um I went back to school for cybersecurity, and I did that because of a case of a predator that almost got away with it multiple times because of loopholes in the law and not being an offender already. And it rocked my hometown. Um, and I sat and watched a human be sentenced that had no soul. And then I believed in the death penalty. And it wasn't because I wanted him to die. It was because it was so inhumane to think of him someone that could not be rehabilitated, um, to be locked in a cage. So, like, you go to your friend's house, they have a dog locked in a cage all the time, cat locked in a cage all the time, keep your baby in a crib all the time, things like that. It's not humane. It's not it's the opposite, and it's also really difficult because there's so much harm that can be caused. You think of people like Jeffrey Dahmer, and I do think that he was very failed by the people that brought him into this earth, but at the end of the day, humanity does have to protect itself, and it's a very fine line, you know? Our prison systems really need to focus on reforming people instead of putting people in also situations where the people that work there take advantage of things and the people that work there and a lot of different aspects of it. And it's also now a lot of it privatized. People make a lot of money off of prisons. That's weird. That should not be a thing. Should not be a thing. But it is what it is. And they really need to. I think Huckabee was sent there. Sorry. Emotional response, life is precious. I was getting a little bit emotional. I Well, money is kind of blackmail, I think, in its own way. Money's fake. It's not I miss, like, thousands of years ago when it wasn't a thing. JK, I didn't know what that was like. If we own our government, then I want Huckabee out of Israel. He's supposed to be represent the US and not them. Well, KK, I'm sorry. I think that the S word is something I have the Nightbot not have. Certain keywords will have certain things happen in my channel. So I do apologize to you, KK. I do see that. I don't think you were saying it in an appropriate way. She's saying, I think any bleep crime should not be able to parole. They never change. It's difficult. It's difficult. I think Huckabee was sent there as punishment because he was surrounded by predators here in the US. If you go look at him with the Duggars, if you look at him with the book author, the farm stuff, his state was pretty effed up. It was pretty effed up. Money buys, blackmail keeps your secrets hidden. Well, I think that money's used as blackmail a lot. I don't know. I think that's how you eradicate the problem. Like, I don't understand, or I don't think there are a lot of things wrong with the brick system. I think that there are a lot of things with the brick system that are really good. So, I don't know. We also victimize and blackmail other countries with the way that we put sanctions on money and things. So, I don't know. When I was in Mexico, I actually met someone where his mom was seen as a terrorist by the country that he came here from. He's an immigrant as a child. And he's in Mexico. He's at a wedding. And he was telling me about it. And it made me so sad because I know the real history of some of the stuff that happened with oil in Venezuela. And a lot of people don't talk about it. And we caused a lot of pressure. And because there were certain people that were really high up, his mom was high up in an oil company, and she was seen as a terrorist, and they had to flee the country, and they almost didn't make it out because of that. Which is sad, but we played a part in that. Bush played a big part in that, and that makes me so sad because we don't need their oil, and it's greedy, and I'd rather drive less. I don't know, like, it just doesn't. Also, I use corn fuel, so I don't know. Oh, I just exited my presentation. No. Okay. Anyways, okay, I fixed it. But now, all right. I'm going to share this last thing because good night, David. Good night. Good night, everyone. I see people saying good night. It is late. I'm losing my voice a little bit. So I'm going to play I'm going to say this real quick, and two things, and then I'm going to go to bed too because I think Marsh did fall asleep. All right. So the alibi we have for Lance is that he went on September 11th and celebrated his mother's birthday, right? Okay. So this is in the morning, right? So the guy that sleeps in till 1 p.m. on September 10th is somehow up early on September 11th on a Thursday. And he's not working either. Actually, none of them are working because it's their mom's birthday. Or they're going to celebrate because of what she says. And I have a lot of thoughts about this. Number one, it's 9 a.m. and you're that ready in your house on your birthday. Did you go to breakfast? Did you go out to eat? Who was at your house? Because to me, it looks like it's dark in those windows outside. So how early is it? There's not light coming in from those windows in the background. I think I can zoom in. It's dark outside. It's dark behind your couch. So what is it, like 3 a.m? Why is there no one in your living room that put those up? Your family comes over, they put up these special things. And your family, did they put up those special things? Or did you? With the tape that is literally right beside the thing that's hung up that your family put up. That's not in the background. When you guys put up a sign like this for your mom as a birthday celebration, how many of you leave the tape right beside the sign? Maybe because the one daughter is, a chemist moving around. The other daughter's in Bolivia or whatever. So you got two dudes and a dad. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. It's dark. There's not a single person in the background. This is on September 11th. You're fully you have a tiara on. I mean, you're really going for it. I wish I could see the time on that clock. Or the watch. I really do. Wish I could see that so bad. Because I don't believe you. Not for a second. It's also funny that this is twigs and it's literally wood. That's what she's posting. So it's what it says. She's saying happy birthday. It says over here in the comments. Sometimes I just want to not think about my birthday. But this morning, so this says this morning, I have a reason to be excited. Not only did my family spoil me with fun things to wear all day to remind everybody around me of this day, but I'm also working to serve 50 families and protect them with living benefits on my 50th birthday month wish. We are almost halfway there, and I feel so much gratitude right now. Thank you all for helping me educate on the living benefits. This has been so purposeful because of the insurance MLM she's in. Oh, did you know that she's also from Arizona? Yeah, she is. So I don't believe it. Not for a single second. I don't. You say this morning, and then you're going to say, I don't believe it. So I'm going to play the intro of Lance saying how long he known Tyler, and then I'm going to wrap it up, and I'm really going to bed because I'm tired. My brain hurts. It is this one. It is insurance. Yeah, they do the life insurance stuff. Yeah, but PFA is a very scammy. PFA has been sued a lot, so.
This meeting is to use your statement here instead of your testimony at a preliminary hearing. Understand that? Mm-hmm. Okay, so in order to do that, I need to place you under oath and also give you an admonition about false statements. Okay. First, you do solemnly swear or affirm that the evidence you shall give in this issue shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God? Yes. I also need to notify you that you are notified that statements you are about to make may be presented to a magistrate or a judge in lieu of your sworn testimony at a preliminary examination. Any false statement you make and that you do not believe to be true may subject you to criminal punishment as a Class A misdemeanor. You understand that? Yes. It potentially could be used as for punishment as a higher offense as obstruction of justice. In addition, I just want to make sure that our recording here is clear that you've also been given a federal agreement and a state agreement granting you immunity from prosecution for materials that you discuss now. Do you understand that? Mm-hmm. Okay. First, we're going to cover some of the things that we've already talked about, but to make it as part of this record. First, what's your name?
Full name with middle name or just first and last?
First and last is fine.
Okay, my name is Lance Twiggs.
And do you know Tyler Robinson?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do.
And this is the same Tyler Robinson that's been charged with the shooting of Charlie Kirk?
Yes.
And would you say when you first met Tyler?
I think it was 2023. I've known him longer than that, though. That was, I think, the first time I met him in person.
Okay.
So that was 2023. Sorry, I'm trying not to eat in your face, but I'm kind of hungry right now.
And will you describe your relationship with Tyler when you first met him anyway?
When I first met him, I didn't know him super well. He was just a new roommate, so I knew he knew my friend group, and I knew he liked playing games, but that's about it when we first when he first moved in.
Okay. Before we go on, I realized my mic was muted at the outset. Was yours on, your microphone? Okay. I'm going to repeat those admonitions just to make sure we've got it recorded. Okay, so again, I placed you under oath. Just to make a record, I'm going to do it again. You do solemnly swear that the evidence you shall give in this issue shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
And again, I'm going to give you the false statement admonition.
Sorry, hold on. If they're saying that it's echoing, so
I think this one's mic is on.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, you don't owe me my mic, but that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so we should be good. All right. Is that mic on?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, okay, sorry about that interruption. All right, so you said when you first met.
Okay, I also have an interruption. So I have a special guest with me who finally got back in the chair. And I don't know if you guys can even see her. But this is Callie. And she is camera shy. Oh, she's gonna lick her paw. Callie, say hi. Say hi to everybody. She is a JD Vance like eyeliner. But yeah, when you first met Matt, I think he did say met. Like I think he repeated his words. Isn't Callie so cute? Yeah. She's grumpy and tired and wants to go to bed. But, oh, did you see her face change when I said bed? Yeah. So, anyways, I am going to move the camera up and get back to the last part of that. But, yeah, Callie. It's Callie. I was gonna buy a stand so that she could be by my chair and be propped up so you guys could see her with her side eye, because she does this side eye mean mugging thing, and it's like my favorite thing about her. So it was interrupted, and then we had an interruption with a special guest. That is just means, she's the best. She is the best. Now I don't know how to. Oh, it's still up there. I don't even know how to. I can see myself 3 times on here, and I'm like, duh. What's
You
going
were
on?
roommates?
Yeah.
Okay. And then at some point, your relationship progressed to something more than just roommates, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
When was that?
I think we started dating 2 or 3 months after he moved in.
Okay.
So they didn't really know each other that well, and it's maybe both of their first male relationships, and it progressed so fast that 2 months after the first roommate moved out, which who knows that the first roommate didn't snap, and it didn't really work for him to be some type of handled by the handler. And Tyler starts dating him 2 to 3 months after he moves in, but he keeps a separate bedroom.
And where did you live at that time?
St. George, in an apartment complex.
And is that apartment the same place you lived when on September 10th?
Yes.
When you lived there with Tyler, were you in the same room? Did you live in the same room or different rooms?
No, separate rooms.
And at that time, let's say September of 2025, what were you doing with your life? Were you working, school?
I was working. I was doing like bathtub and shower repair and stuff in new construction.
Okay.
So he's kicked out of his parents' house, right? Living in his grandpa's townhouse apartment. But his dad is employing him through Dixie Tubs somehow. To the point where his parents are Venmoing him for his medication. Yeah, that makes sense. And his car reportedly got taken away. So if your boyfriend was hunting, and you had a text right before that said 7 p.m. about something, you really needed to use a car. And your boyfriend felt bad for you. Well, I just kind of burped a little bit. I'm sorry if you could hear that. I didn't even burp. It's like a weird stomach sound thing. But it doesn't make any sense. Does not make any sense. He looks like a Fed, isn't it? Like, I mean, he's just I don't know if it's fake. His emotion's not there. It's just.
How about Tyler?
I think he was both working. I think he was working for an electrician company.
They're dating. They're cuddling, apparently. He doesn't know. He thinks this is what my boyfriend does for work.
Then, and he was also in a trade school for being I don't know, higher like ranking electrician. I'm not sure how to.
He thinks he is so smart that no one's going to think any of this is weird.
Trade system works for that.
Okay.
But yeah, I think he was both.
What was his typical work day like?
I think he'd leave around 7 generally and get back around 3 to 4, depending on like where the job was and how long it was for the day. And then on certain days of the week during school, like semesters, he would then later in the day, I think around 5 or 6, go to school. So yeah.
Okay. Let's jump to September 10th. Did he spend the night in the apartment the night of September 9th into September 10th?
Yeah, he did. Yes.
Do you know when he left the apartment on September 10th?
I don't know an exact time. I just know he left early.
So, like Erica Kirk, she is aware that Charlie leaves that morning, even though they were sleeping in separate bedrooms. If you see your spouse wake up in the morning, or your partner, whatever, if you have to wake up that early, do you wake them up? And if you wake them up, if it's important to you, do you not say, hi, I love you, give them a big smooch? Who gave these people these narratives? Feel like, I don't want to say somebody that used to be military intelligence, but there seems to be a lot of military intelligence that continues to be around these people. And the reason why I say that, I'm not even going to be able to get to the other stuff, but the reason I say that is quite simply Graham Allen as well. And I don't mean to be weird when I say it, but Graham, let me figure pulling it up real quick. Graham Allen, I'm going to show you this as an example, and this will be the last thing I talk about, but it's like, it's weird to me. We have all these people in all of the orbits over and over and over again that continue to just keep popping up and to be controlling this narrative. So this is something I posted on X. So Graham Allen, he was not listed on the TPUSA contributors page in August of 2025, but he is right now. He previously on his things was listed with TPUSA Faith. Who was the co-founder of TPUSA Faith? Rob McCoy, who specifically said that his son went to Salt Lake City and was in different clothes. Why would you feel the need to say that? Do you know what happened in Orem on September 10th, 2025, the end of it? Were you trying to separate your son from a bald man driving a Dodge Challenger in the evening? Because, Graham Allen, with his X account and everything else, is not on here in August of 2025 as a contributor. The Wayback Machine. He's the only one not on here. Only one. Oh my gosh, is that Jack Posobiec? Is that Betty Johnson? Is that Brandon Tatum? Is that Jabab who was on the Charlie Kirk show this week? Oh, look who's on there. Look who's on there now. He also has Texas LLCs if you look them up. They're really great. You look them up and you see that he's added, if you're on the Wayback Machine, he's added between March and April of 2026. And this is what his profile says. Allen is a senior consultant for the Department of War, working with Secretary of War and senior leadership on digital marketing and strategic communications. That's his profile's added in 2026. And this is his profile on the Turning Point website. Oh, and you know what one of his LLCs uses the alias name of everybody's because he tries to shield it? It's Donut Media. Who really likes donuts? What's the joke about cops getting donuts? Huh. Allen built one of the largest independent conservative digital media platforms in America. Why does it always say that? Why? Why is he writing another book? It's disgusting. All right, I'm going to go to bed. If you can hear my dog being crazy in the background. Callie, quit that, girlfriend. Here, here's your toy. There you go. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to go rest my eyes, rest my brain. And I hope you guys all had a great weekend. Oh, I did want to show you. So you couldn't see my monkey lamp in the background. But I did make this beautiful bouquet from the flower bar. And I feel like I had to show you all this because I was really proud of it. And you can see it. Oh, I'm going to break it. How do I remove this? This is the bouquet I made. Oh, and you can't even see it that well because of the lighting. It's all pink. It's all pink. Good night. I hope you all have a good night. The monkey lamp was kind of covered because we had Callie in the background and she is chewing on her nails. So that's a great habit to start. Callie, you want to say bye? Come here. Hey, come on. You want to say bye-bye? You guys aren't going to be able to see her to say bye. But Callie, come here. You want to come here? You want me to hold you? She's like, Mom, I do not want to be held. She's giving me I wish you could actually, can you guys? She's like, Mom, no, I do not want to be held right now. We're going to go to bed. Thank you. She's so over it. Callie, say bye-bye. I talk to her like a baby. I do. You can hate it all you want. I don't care. Thank you, guys. I'll talk to you later. I'm probably doing Tuesday. If not, it'll be this next weekend. So I have a few projects that we were working on and finishing, and then I had some pre-recorded stuff, but some of it doesn't have sound when I was traveling, so that's great. Have a good night. Callie says, "Oh, did you guys see the side eye she just gave me? The queen. She's got JD Vans eyeliner built in, guys. Built in. She is not like Tilly. She is not like Tilly. But I feel like she would like Tilly. She's like, Mom. She put her head down. She gets hair. You guys just see the way she did that. I have a cord right here because I was trying to move it. You can see her. She's like, okay, are you done yet, Mom? Are you done? Are you done? You can see my moon on my laptop. It's a space thing. All right. Well, we're going to go to bed. And she's going to still be grumpy when she wakes up because she's a mommy's girl and we're not morning people. We're not morning people. So thank you for coming. Have a good night. Just remember, even though you feel like the world is against you, most people want the same thing. You know? Callie's over it. I'm over it. She just like fell half asleep. She woke up, her eyes awake now. I love her so much. So I show pictures of her to people randomly on vacation. I'm like, you want to see my dog? And then I just like I already have the picture up. So I knew she's a cutie pie. I do need to get the thing so that she can be in here when I do this better and more comfortable. She likes to have her own space and get up and down, and the cords were all I just hit my laptop, all discombobulated. But have a good night. And I will see you guys next time. Now I'm just staring at my dog. I'm staring at my dog. I'm gonna go back and watch your older stuff. Thank you. I need to be better about clipping it. And I'm also working on condensing so that I don't put as much in a show because I know it's a lot to keep up with and people get overwhelmed. And there was a lot with the twigs. So if you go look at that, it's a lot going on. I think like a few of them are more insightful rather than, okay, we're going a million miles per hour. But there was a lot with them. So there are some with the Anon bird drawings I kind of talked about a little bit today. I might go live on Tuesday to go over those a little bit more because I did see someone else saw some of the similarities. I have a blanket because I don't like to be cold. But I don't know why I felt the need to explain to you that the reason I have a blanket is because I don't like to be cold. It's kind of like common sense. But it's interesting because I have posted them on X. There is a part of the videos that goes over that, but those drawings do have a lot of things that I think argue the you. And I did them again this week with the 223 casing. And so that's what I wanted to show. So yeah, and we're watching you staring at your dog. It's 2026, people. I can stream staring at my dog. That's my dream job, actually. But like with the beach in the background. I want to snorkel. I'm glad that I have dog people up in here. I'm not a cat person. If you watch the Lance videos or you've been here with the Lance videos, I also have a bunch of weird accounts that are cats that continuously follow me. So, and it started when I noticed that about the gaming profiles because they seem to be obsessed with this like katana type thing. And I don't like it. I'll tell you that. I'm also not a cat person because I'm allergic, but it's weird. But also, it's kind of cringe. I try not to listen to myself a lot. It is helpful, but I hate listening to myself. So I try to improve every single time. But that's also why I have half of a jungle behind me because I don't measure things. So And it was so cool that I was just going to do something else later. Callie says goodnight. Like, Mom, for real? Did you see that? She's like, wait, Mom, we get to go to bed now? All right, with that, I'll talk to you guys next time. She's already ready. She's like, Mom, I'm going. Thanks, guys. Bye.
I don't give a damn. So you better be calm. With safari hat on. We digging deep, come on. Yeah. Born in a country that was meant to be free. Gifted in yapping to prove conspiracy. Educated in the cornfield but dreaming of the beach. Inspired by a humble host, let that man preach. Republican, nah, Democrat, ew. Reporting what's true through a new view to you. I don't give a damn. So you better be calm. With safari hat on. Into the weeds, come on. I don't give a damn. So you better be calm. With safari hat on. We digging deep, come on. Yeah. Tiger shark circle, but I'm staying the course. Deep research, digging, overturn every source. Tin foil squirrel, organize the chaos. Gather each acorn, expose corporate payoffs. What matters the most? Respecting what is true. Always be saying like Moss, she'll grow on you. Welcome to